Hello everyone, this is Michael Stults with michaelstults.com, changing the world one pixel at a time. So today guys, my goal is to show you how to set up your branded domain name with Zoho, so that way you can have a custom branded email account to send and receive email. Now some of you over the years may have used Google Apps, and that was fantastic, and for some of us we still have some grandfathered accounts. But for the newbies want to utilize that service, unless you're willing to pony up that $5-10 a month for an email account, it's just not going to happen. And then a couple years ago, Microsoft had offered some very similar, which was very appealing. It had its limitations of sorts, but where through the Domain Live Manager, you could do the exact same process and use Outlook.com to send and receive branded email. You really had some limitations because you were unable to set up multiple groups, and you didn't have the flexibility to do what you needed to do. Here comes Zoho Mail. You're good to go. So you still have an additional option here. They give you 10 free accounts, ad-free. Each email account is 5 gigabytes, which is a lot of room. So if you're constantly cleaning out your inbox and doing the right thing, you should be fine. With any email program, I suggest that you always back up your email. Maybe you have a copy of all your email go to a free Gmail account as a backup, or maybe you're using MacMail if you're on a Mac like myself, or if you're on a PC, maybe you're using Outlook, the actual program. That way you at least have an additional copy somewhere else. So even if you go to Zoho and you delete your email inside the browser when you log in, at least you have a backup. So let's get started. You want to go to zoho.com/mail. You're going to come to this page that you see right here. Let's go ahead and get started. Click on the big old button there. You see some options here, and they're very reasonable. A lot of people like to use Zoho because they can integrate other apps like their CRM system. There's a password storage tool called Vault, which is also free. But if you're managing a large sales force or a big company, it's really awesome because you can dictate who should have access to those passwords. And so if they leave the company, hey, you still have control over your passwords, not the password that went with them. So over here you'll see the free account, 5 gigabytes per user, 5 gigabytes dock storage, whatever. You get 10 users, you get 1 domain, and you're good to go. So let's hit sign up. Alright, at first you'll come to this first box right here. It says you want to add your domain, so we're going to pick this domain, if I could spell it right, productspecialist.info. Hit add domain. So you'll do the same thing for yourself. First name Michael, last name Stults. Now this is where you want to create your main email account. This is going to be your super admin user to administer the whole mail account. So let's just say I'm just going to make it Mike, and then we're going to make password something simple for me to remember right now. But in your situation, you want to pick a good password that is not necessarily hard for you, but you want to make it hard for others, of course. I won't sit here and go on and on about it. The next is the contact email. So I'm going to pick my marketing work at Gmail. This could be a free account. I suggest it be one that you maybe check regularly. That way you have access to it pretty quickly. So I'm going to type that you're human, and then sign up. Obviously I'm not human, so let's try it again. Boom. Alright, so now it's thinking here. Alright, now here comes the fun stuff. It says, hey, congratulations, you've set up your account, your mailbox size, blah blah blah. Now the fun part. We have to verify that you own the domain. So in this case, you have 3 options that they give you. It can be a CNAME method, it could be the text method, or an HTML method. Now personally, I tell you that the HTML method would be the easiest to use because you can upload a simple file to the hosting account and to get going. So we will do that first. Alright guys, so I'm going to choose the HTML method here, and you're going to get this screen. It says, hey, download this file. So we'll go ahead and download that bad boy right here. We'll just hit the desktop, hit save. Now what it tells you now is to create a folder called Zoho Verify under root. So here I am. Let me pull up my FTP program real quick. I'll show you. Create a new file, Zoho Verify. Alright, let me give you this little example here. So on the right hand side here, I have sub Zoho Verify, and you see the file is empty. So next thing you want to do is you want to go down to your desktop and locate where you drop that bad boy off. Just right here, just drop it in. Alright, so now you can see right here that you have the file located in that folder. Now the next step here is confirm that your upload is successful by going to this link right here. So we're going to copy this, open up new tab, hit go. Boom. Alright, so file is working. Alright, let's go ahead and hit verify. Alright, I'm going to create the admin account, so I'm going to say Mike at Product Specialist, so create account. Alright, so now it's going to step you through their domain setup. So we verified the domain, we're good to go, we've added a user, so let's go ahead and hit next. You can set up groups if you want. Right now I'm going to pass. Change your MX records. Alright, so that is the next part that we have to do. For this example, I want to show you HostGator, which they utilize cPanel. A lot of the hosting companies use something very similar. In there, GoDaddy kind of has their own little setup, but for today's purpose, I'm going to show you HostGator. So here we are, logged into the account right here. First thing you want to do is go down to your mail section, and normally you see on mine that some of these sections are not expanded. Typically when you log in, all these sections are expanded and you're scrolling up and down. But I have collapsed a few to try to make the screen a little bit smaller. So what we want to do is select MX entry right here. That's pulling up. Next thing you want to do is you want to select the domain that you want to utilize. It asks you email routing. Well, there are some options here. We won't get into what these all mean for cPanel, but essentially you want to hit the remote mail exchanger because again, this is outside of HostGator, or i.e. your hosting company. So down here is where you want to add the new record. So let's go over and click on proceed to point your MX record. So here's all you need to know. You got host name, address, priority. So what I like to do is to copy the address because I know this is at, and that's 10. Get back over here. I do priority 10 and destination there. Hit add. Alright, it's been added. Let's go back. Let's grab the second one here. That's priority 20. So we'll do that. Okay, we're all out of here. So what I want to show you real quick, this priority 0, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And the reason why I'm going to delete that is we do not need what the default is for your hosting company. So just make sure in your MX records that everything is set to Zoho standards, which are just 2 entries right here. You'll be good to go. Now you see over here where it has the hostname @ sign. Places like GoDaddy, for example, or 1&1, and some of the others will actually have you put in a hostname, which is just the @ symbol. So it's very cut and clear. In this case, HostGator already knows what they're doing, so they don't even give you the option to mess with it. So once we do that, we're going to hit, make sure you select the remote mail exchanger again, hit change, and it's good to go. Alright, so let's give that a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to propagate. Alright, we have no inboxes to migrate, so we'll move on here. We're pretty much done. And there you have it. Now you have your inbox created here. You're good to go. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you probably received an email from Zoho. Now, this account's one of my accounts I just use for miscellaneous stuff, as you can clearly tell. But what you want to do is click on the confirm link, so it confirms that this backup email is registered to your account. So we're good to go there. Go back to Zoho, you are all set up. Now, one thing you can do is go back over to your control panel, and there's some modifications that you can set up. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can upload a custom logo, just choose it, hit save, you're good to go. And now anytime you log into your email or anyone else that you set up, it will show up over here in the left hand corner on there. One last thing we have to do, guys, is when you're in your control panel, click on your domains, you're going to come to this screen right here. Down at the very bottom, Zoho recommends that you add a SPF record to your domain. So it's kind of like adding a license plate to your car. It's a good practice to do. So let's click on that. It's going to open up a new tab, which I've already done that. Sender Policy Framework, first header. And what you'll find is Zoho, they're very good with their help section. So if I haven't covered something, which it's more likely I haven't, mainly due to time, and also there's a lot of things you could do to customize this further. But what we want to do is copy this record right here, and we'll go back to HostGator or cPanel. Scroll down to our domains. You want to hit Advanced DNS Zone Editor. Now in GoDaddy or something like that, it's going to be very straightforward. Everything's going to be on the same page. So MX records, add a CNAME, add a text record, it's all there. So let's go ahead and pick our domain name, and let's call this, let's see, here, we'll call this 14. Select the drop down here, boom, pop that in, and we'll call this Zoho SPF. And let's see, products special.info, and we'll hit add record. See it right down here at the bottom. It should be good. So we are going to delete the old one right there. Alrighty. So there you go, guys. You guys are good to go. I want to show you how to check the email once you've created and set up your inboxes. You have a few options. You can actually create a subdomain that will redirect to the login page for Zoho. That's a whole nother video and time, but that is possible to do. The easiest way is just type in zohomail.com. It'll redirect you to the page that we all started with on this video. Over in the right hand corner, just hit sign in. Use the credentials that you set up during the process. Sign in, pretty straightforward. And there you have it. There's your inbox. And once that loads there, the last thing you want to keep in mind is if you need to get back to your control panel, over on the right hand side, since you did log in as a super admin, click control panel, mail and docs, and we're back over there. Yeah, appreciate your time today. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I know there's a few things I may have left out, but due to time, I want to keep it short and quick as possible. If I could help you any, just let me know. You know how to get a hold of me, and I hope all of you have an awesome day. Talk to you soon.